In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Saturday, June 8th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our June 8th MLB slate we got going on Saturday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 5.67 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way. Thank you guys so much for who is already subscribed, for showing all the love and support in that comment section and showing up on each and every video. It is very, very important that you continue to do so because it adds to the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a bigger audience. All right, so if you're not subscribed right now, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button right now. Join the community that we're building on YouTube and on Patreon right this second. It is super important that you do those things. Now for the Patreon, for our plays right here for the MLB, we had Dodgers money line. Twins did not come through. The Orioles and Rays over 8 that hit. Astros and Angels, the over in that one is still going on right now, so there has the possibility to. The Reds won. The Marlins, I had a change of heart on that game. I know in the video I had the Braves, but doing some extra research here, I went on to the Marlins and that came through, and I advised everyone to take that +1.5. The Red Sox and White Sox under, that did not hit. Cardinals Rockies, that did not hit. Cardinals money line is should hit. They're up by 3 runs in the 9th, and the Padres, their money line is trending towards being a hit if the Padres can hold on in the last couple innings. And then I provided an upset special here: White Sox money line and Nationals money line. If all those come through, it should be 8 for 12. So a phenomenal percentage there with the plays that I provided. And just so you can see, one of the bet slips have already cashed. Actually, 2 of the bet slips have already cashed. Nationals, Marlins, White Sox. This was my upset special parlay that I put together, 10 for 100, that came through. And then my main max play there was the LA Dodgers. I had full confidence in them to beat the New York Yankees and end their 8-game winning streak. All right, so if you want the premium plays, you sign up for that link provided down below. Also, you sign up also for the community in that Patreon. That chat section is going off with ideas all day long. So if you want to get connected to a group like that, you sign up for that Patreon link provided down below. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First game up on our slate here, we have the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 44-19, going up against the New York Mets, 27-35. This game here is an early game on Saturday, and it is being played out of the country in London. Okay, so they're trying to be international, very similarly to the NFL here. They're going to have a couple games outside the country for MLB, so that's exciting to see. They're looking at the current odds. Phillies are favorited right now, road favorites. Well, technically both teams are road teams. Phillies -150 on the money line with the comeback of the New York Mets at a +125. The total run set at 10, so a very high total that we have here. For the public bet percentage here, 93% of the bets and 99% of the money on the Philadelphia Phillies. A very public favorite here for the Philadelphia Phillies, coming in on them. For the total runs, 68% of the bets, 88% of the money towards the over 10 runs in this game here. So we do have a little bit of most of the money is on that over. So looking at the starting pitcher performance here, we have Ranger Suarez, who is 9-1 with an ERA of 1.70, and then Sean Manaea, who is 3-2 with a 3.63 ERA here. Ranger Suarez has been pitching out of his mind this season. Absolutely phenomenal the way he's going right now. But in his previous seasons, he has not been this good. This 1.7 ERA, it's usually around that 3.5 area. So maybe things could be changing. Maybe there could be some expected regression coming for Suarez in his way here. And then Sean Manaea here, he has home road splits, pitches well on the road at a 2.86 ERA with a 234 batting average on the road. He did struggle against the number one hitting team against left-handed pitchers in his last matchup against the Diamondbacks. So hopefully this could be a bounce back. But when you're looking at this run line, it's telling you that there's going to be a lot of points in this one at 10. And both of these pitchers are left-handed pitchers, and both of these teams hit left-handed pitching very well. They're top 11 in the league between the Phillies and the Mets here. So I'm going to be leaning towards the plus 1.5. I'm going to fade the very, very public favorite here in the Phillies. Give me that plus 1.5 on the New York Mets here. And I do expect a lot of runs in this particular game. So I'm going to be leaning towards the over 10 runs. This is outside the country. They want this to be exciting for internationally. So that's why I'm going to be going with that over 10 runs. In the Oakland Coliseum, we have the Toronto Blue Jays 30-32 going up against the Oakland A's 25-39. Looking at the odds right now, we have road favorite Toronto Blue Jays minus 160 on the money line with the comeback of the Oakland Athletics at a plus 135. The total runs are set at 8. For the full game public bet percentage here, 88% of the money. 88% of the bets, 90% of the money on the Toronto Blue Jays here. For the total runs, 85% of the bets, 94% of the money towards the over 8 runs in this particular game. Kevin Gausman, 4-4 with a 4.6 ERA, going up against Luis Medina. No stats, no registered stats as of yet for him. Now for Kevin Gausman, he has extreme home road splits. At home, his ERA is 6.68. On the road, it is 2.43. So those numbers are with very good allotment of innings. So 29 innings, that's what you get on his road ERA with a 2.43. So it's been over a sustained period of time. He pitches better against right-handed hitters, and he should see about 5 righties in this lineup here going up against the Oakland A's. For Luis Medina, he did pitch well against the Atlanta Braves, but for his career numbers, they are horrible versus righties. He's given up a 1.51 home run per 9, a 1.40 whip, and a 4.54 xFIP. Even if you dig deeper in his numbers, his AAA numbers, he has a 10 ERA. And last year, his ERA was at a 5.42. So if you continue to dig deeper and deeper, there's not good stats here for Luis Medina on this side. It definitely leans me towards the side of the Toronto Blue Jays. We got the home road splits here with Kevin Gausman that I like, and then you get a career minor leaguer in the Oakland A's here with Luis Medina, who has continued to struggle. Maybe he had one good game against the Braves, but that does not reciprocate the whole body of work that he's done in his career. So I'm going to be going with the Blue Jays money line, Blue Jays minus 1.5. And if I'm choosing an over and under, I'm going with the under 8 runs. This is in Oakland. There's not that many runs when you're playing in this type of big environment in Oakland Coliseum. Next up, we have the AL East battle here. Baltimore Orioles 40-22 going up against the Tampa Bay Rays 31-32. Looking at the current odds right now, we have the Orioles road favorites minus 145 on the money line with the comeback of the Tampa Bay Rays at a plus 120. The total runs are set at 8. No current public bet percentage out yet for this particular game here, but we're going to move on. The pitching matchup here is the fun part. Kyle Bradish is 1-0 with a 3.18 ERA. Going up against Taj Bradley, 1-3 with a 5.81 ERA. Kyle Bradish has been an absolute stud this season so far. A 30% K rate to lefties and righties. Versus righties, this is where he's the strongest. A 228 batting average he's given up, and a 2.99 xFIP. But the funny part here, he just faced the Tampa Bay Rays, and the BVP is a little bit of a caution, but that's mainly because the fact that when he faced the Tampa Bay Rays, he in 2 innings gave up 5 runs, but he did have 6 strikeouts. So that strikeout stuff is still there, no matter what, for Kyle Bradish. And he has that huge over 10 K per 9. All right, for Taj Bradley here, he just faced the Orioles as well, and in 3 innings, he gave up 9 earned runs and 4 home runs. Okay, so both of these guys, this game can go either way. It can go an over easily because of all these guys have huge home run problems, but they throw phenomenal strikeout stuff. So it can be a big over or a big under. With the fact that these two teams just played and they face each other, Bradley and Bradish, I'm going to go opposite here, okay? I think the under is going to hit in this game at 8. That's why they set that total again at this particular number here. I think both of these guys make some adjustments. The K stuff is still there. If they just can clean up the home runs in this particular spot here, that's why I'm going to be going with the under 8 runs. If you're looking at strikeout props, this is definitely a spot I would attack both Bradish and Bradley in this game. And if I have to choose a winner, I'm going to lean towards the Baltimore Orioles here on the money line at a -145. In Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City Royals 37-26 going up against the Seattle Mariners 36-28. Looking at the current odds right now, Mariners are road favorites -145 on the money line, with the comeback of the Kansas City Royals at a +120. The total runs are set at 8.5 for the public bet percentage. 71% of the bets, 94% of the money coming in on the Seattle Mariners. And for the total runs, 74% of the bets, 84% of the money towards the over 8.5 runs. For the pitching matchup here, Luis Castillo, who's been phenomenal ever since, with Cincinnati and since coming over to Seattle, 5-6 with a 2.99 ERA, and then Alec Marsh, 4-3 with a 3.76 ERA. So the Mariners are coming off an embarrassing loss on Friday. They were up 8 runs on the Royals, and they allowed them to come back, and they lost on Friday 10-9. So this should be a bounce back spot for them. If we're looking at Luis Castillo, he's been red hot in his last 5 starts. And his BVP against the Royals is absolutely stellar. No blemishes for him on his side. Alec Marsh struggles against right-handed hitting here. He's a righty that struggles against righties. That's not a good mixture. He's given up a 2.50 home run per 9. He's given up a 293 batting average. He's given up a 1.67 whip, a 347 BABIP, and a 5.75 FIP. So across the board, this is not a good pitcher here. Seattle Mariners should take the lead like they did similar today, but hopefully they can hold on to this one. Give me the Mariners on the money line. Give me the Mariners -1.5. And if I have to choose an over and under, I'm going to go with the under 8.5 here, with the last game going well over. They had 19 runs on Friday. I'm going to go opposite in this game on Saturday. Give me the under 8.5. Next game up here, we have the Cleveland Guardians 40-22, Miami Marlins 22-41. They do not have a line yet out for Vegas between these two teams as of right now when I'm recording for the Guardians and the Marlins. We're going to be looking to attack this spot yet again. If this was a line, this is just a hypothetical, I highly think that The Miami Marlins would be the underdog in this spot here. Just looking at the pitcher matchup, Ben Lively, 5-2 with a 2.84 ERA and a 1.16 WHIP, going up against Roddery Munoz. Not a lot of people know him. He has a 5 ERA and a 1.21 WHIP. So this should be another spot here where the Marlins are going to be home dogs and the Guardians are road favorites. All right, now Ben Lively for the Guardians. He's a fly ball pitcher. He has been good this year. But he gives up a lot of hits to righties and almost a 300 batting average to them as well. Roddery Munoz here, despite the fact you see that his ERA is a 5.17, it literally came in one game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that makes total sense. The other games that he pitched, it was, let me show you guys live if we can pull this up for Roddery. So Roddery Munoz, as you can see, he was 5 innings, only 2 earned runs, 7 Ks against the Cubs, and against the Colorado Rockies, 6 innings, only 1 earned run and 7 Ks. So he pitched very well in those 2 games here. Didn't get a lot of run support, but the blemish on his ERA is the Los Angeles Dodgers in LA. 4 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs, 4 home runs. So that is understandable here. That is a very, very dangerous lineup. But I'm seeing some positives here from Roddery Munoz. So I'm going to be going with the Miami Marlins yet again at that +1.5. We're going to take those points and put it in our back pocket. I can imagine that this over or under is around that 8 range, and I'm going to go with the under 8 runs in this particular game for the Guardians and the Miami Marlins. Next up, highly anticipated. This is game 2 in this series. LA Dodgers 40-25 going up against the New York Yankees 45-20. Looking at the current odds, you have the New York Yankees at a -125 as favorites here, and the Dodgers at +105 on the money line here. The total runs are set at 8.5. For the public bet percentage, 76% of the bets, 82% of the money on the Yankees here to bounce back in game number 2. For the total runs, 69% of the bets, 62% of the money towards the over 8.5 runs. So usually you see it in that 80 to 90 range towards the over. I'm seeing a lot of money coming in on that under now. So sharps on the under total runs, and that is a smart play. After you watch what happened in game 1, it went into extra innings. The Dodgers won 2-1. These are 2 highly motivated teams. They're taking this series very, very seriously, so I expect everything to be a little bit tightly contested here on both sides. So automatically off the rip, I'm telling you right now, I like the under 8.5 in this particular game here. The pitching matchup is Gavin Stone, 6-2 with a 2.90 ERA, going up against Nestor Cortes, who has been phenomenal for the Yankees, 3-4 with a 3.46 ERA. Gavin Stone is having a very good sophomore season. He struggled in year 1. He's putting it together in this one. He is having a little bit of an issue against lefties. It is going to be a question mark if Juan Soto is going to be back. He's a lefty that can definitely get to Gavin Stone. That's going to be a sight to see. So wait on news if Juan Soto is going to play in game number 2. He could. And for Nestor Cortes, he has extreme, wild, homegrown splits on the road. His ERA is 6.17, and at home, his ERA is 1.12. So he feeds off that New York crowd. And he pitches very, very well. A 170 batting average, 197 WOBA, and a 27% K rate as well. So Nestor Cortes in the safe confines of Yankee Stadium, where he feels a little more confident here. He's going to need that going up against this Dodgers lineup. Give me the Yankees on the money line here to bounce back, tie up this series here. And like I said before, the under 8.5 runs. All right, last but not least here, we have an NL West battle. Arizona Diamondbacks 30-33 going up against the San Diego Padres 32-34. Looking at the current odds right now, Padres are home favorites -150 with the comeback of the Diamondbacks at a +125. That total runs is set at 8. For the public bet percentage, 85% of the bets, 97% of the money on the San Diego Padres, so very heavily favored there. Public wise, and for the total run, 65% of the bets, and 80% of the money. So everyone's heavily on the over here of 8 runs. I would imagine that this total gets bumped up to the 8.5, probably in the morning type at morning time. So I would hop on this number now for the over 8 runs, because when you're looking at this pitching matchup here, Ryan Nelson 3-4, 5.44 ERA, going up against Matt Waldron 3-5 with a 3.98 ERA. Ryan Nelson here, he has home road splits as well. He has at home he has 6.75 ERA, and on the road it's a little bit better, 3.97 ERA on the road, but he is giving up a 300 average, 367 WOBA versus lefties, versus righties is a 404 batting average, a 2.29 whip, and a 481 BABIP. So he does not pitch well to both hands, to lefties and to righties. He is a gas can. And for Matt Waldron, he has home road splits here. He pitches worse at home. He has a 5 ERA at home and a 3.22 ERA on the road. He struggles against lefties mightily here. 1.27 home run per 9, over 300 batting average, a 1.69 whip, a 4 xFIP, and a 384 BABIP. So both of these guys have major issues to lefties and righties. Matt Waldron to lefties, Ryan to both. So this is a spot where you definitely want to take the over in 8 runs. That's going to be my top play here. If I had to choose who's going to win this particular game here, I'm going to go with the bats here and the pitching of the Padres, especially when you get into that bullpen. Ryan Nelson, like I said, both bad to lefties and righties. At least Matt Waldron just struggles against lefties, but I have more faith in this lineup of the Padres and their bullpen. All right. So let me know in that comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the Saturday plays? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your sneaky plays for Saturday? Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you have any props as well? If you want to sign up for those premium picks, remember that Patreon link is provided down below. I want you guys to get connected with the community, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right. Peace out.